Hey, we're the Gottfrieds. In 2018, we sold off what we had in LA and moved to Ecuador to help the refugees fleeing out of Venezuela, the largest exodus of people in the history of the Americas. We didn't know where to start, so we got to know them. Tried our hand at carpentry and built furniture. We bought school uniforms. We started businesses like Mario's Tacos. Those we loved had loved ones in Venezuela, so we brought some out. We laughed, we cried, and we did life together. In 2019, we founded Grace. Give Refugees a Chance is a U.S. nonprofit that facilitates the transformation from refugee to neighbor. We started off as a small medical clinic, giving general consultations and free medications. We just couldn't turn away children, so God sent us a pediatrician. But then the doctors couldn't properly diagnose without labs. So we partner with Monte Sinai. Thank you, Sonia. They gives us medical labs at cost, usually under $1. But our labs showed malnutrition to be the cause of the majority of issues. So we got into food distribution. And once we started accepting food, people gave us clothes. So we handed them out. And we're perhaps best known for our special cases, like Jamari, an 8-year-old little girl who was a hit-and-run survivor. We helped through recovery. In Ecuador, nationwide protests stopped all business for 2 weeks and caused the president to flee the capital. So we came to them and started doing home visits for medical consultations. After the protests, we upgraded into our own facility, Castillo Grace. Named after the very first refugees that touched our hearts and our kids call family, the Castillos. In Castle Grace, we've expanded into the 2 greatest needs of the refugee community: employment services and dentistry. Sadly, the toothbrush and paste haven't been available in Venezuela for 8 years. We've also made partnerships with organizations such as the Red Cross, Peace Corps, and the city of Cuenca. Today, March 26, 2020, Grace is 10 months old and has grown into a household name in Cuenca, a city larger in population than Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. So how do we grow so quickly? Venezuela was called the gem of South America, with arguably the top education system in South America. In 1990, 1 Venezuelan bolivar was worth $6. The Venezuelans traveled the world in comfort, as their country had the largest oil reserves on the planet. The first wave to flee Venezuela were the professionals. This is known as the brain drain. However, due to xenophobia, the best job a Venezuelan doctor or lawyer can get here is as a busboy. Just how cream rises to the top of the bucket, through this turmoil, Grace has had the opportunity to choose its workforce from an ignored, brilliant, and unutilized population. God has brought us Venezuelans who are not just the top of their fields, but who are determined, self-motivated, and have a heart to serve in earnest. Our original employee was Senora Dominga, a nurse with 36 years of experience. This 63-year-old Wonder Woman walked here from Venezuela, through the Amazon and over the Andes mountain range to make it to us, breaking her foot on the journey and needing to be seen by our doctors. After saving enough money from working in the Grace Medical Clinic, she went back to Venezuela to bring out her brother and son. The coronavirus strikes. These photos are of the largest market in southern Ecuador, Feria Libre, usually bustling with thousands of people and vendors. And this is the home of Senora Dominga last Sunday. City officials were supposed to distribute them individually. However, someone rumored that Grace was handing kits out, and within 2 hours, this was the turnout. City officials made the decision and gave out 340 kits then and there. Most of the refugee population buys its food from the money they earned that day. But by Sunday, no one had been able to work for near a week, and the soup kitchens in the city shut their doors. Food scarcity brings desperation. Meanwhile, in Castle Grace, 700 pounds of rice and beans are dragged home from the free market, and Ada is distributing produce. Gilliam the dentist is making arepas for our neighbors. Jose Luis is out on the streets delivering bread donations for Matthew's Bagel. Thank you, Jennifer. And the whole team is making face masks and hand sanitizer. Grace has grown at a miraculous rate, and the needs for our services are greater than ever. If you're receiving this video, then it's because it's been sent to you by a member of the Grace Fundraising Committee that believes you have a heart for the most vulnerable. Each of them has a personal connection to Grace and can testify to our works and stewardship. In order to rise to the occasion in this time of trials and sustain our network of resources, all of which are given away free of charge to those in need, then we have to have donors supporting us at $5,125 a month in totality. This pyramid shows how we can easily distribute that across 40 generous supporters. We will rejoice whether you're willing to be part of our great multitude at $25 a month, or if you're the gracious one we've been searching for at $1,000. The donors we already have are represented by the 5 X's, meaning we only need 35 now. Grace is a movement founded in the midst of crises for a crisis, and we get stronger through each one. I know things are stressful for everyone, but please consider if you can spare some of your resources on a monthly basis to help refugees get back on their feet.